Hey guys, tonight we sail straight into a time of creaking wooden ships, grog-soaked sea dogs, and tropical storms with trust issues. You stand on the edge of a sun-bleached deck, the Indian Ocean stretching out like crumpled silk around you. The air tastes of salt and mildew, the kind of wet you'll never be dry from. There's a half-torn map in your hand, written in ink that's already smudging. Supposedly, this is the way to a land no one's claimed yet. But maps in this century? About as reliable as using a coconut for GPS. By the way, you probably won't survive this. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You lean on the railing, eyes squinting at a horizon that doesn't want to tell you anything. You're somewhere between Java and madness, and you're not even sure the captain knows where you're heading. The year is the late 1600s, and the concept of Australia is barely a whisper, a hazy outline on a stolen Dutch chart. You're not a tourist, you're a sailor. You smell like rope and regret. Food? Mostly biscuit dust, weevil protein, and water that's more moss than liquid. Welcome aboard. The Indian Ocean is deceptively calm, but beneath it lies centuries of drama, wrecks, treasure fleets, kingdoms lost to time. And now, your ship inches toward one of the last pieces of unclaimed earth. Unclaimed by Europeans, that is. The indigenous peoples of this continent have called it home for tens of thousands of years. But your captain doesn't know that, or worse, doesn't care. You're aboard a vessel that might be more pirate than merchant. Not that there's a clean line between the two. This is an era where a man might smuggle cloves one week and cannonballs the next. It all depends on the flag and how close the nearest Navy patrol is. And tonight's voyage? It's about a strange footnote in history, an almost mythical attempt by some rather underqualified men to found a pirate kingdom on the shores of what would later be called Australia. It's as if someone tried to combine Gilligan's Island with Game of Thrones, and somehow thought it would work. Now, here's your first sleep-friendly fact. European ships sailing past northern Australia in this era often didn't realize it was Australia. The coastline was ragged, unfamiliar, and very, very easy to crash into. The Dutch had mapped parts of it in the 1600s, but many captains still considered it a graveyard for fools. And your ship? It's creaking in all the wrong ways. You pass a floating barrel. Probably wine, probably empty. The sails flap like nervous gossip, and the wind smells like distant rain. You peer out again. Somewhere on these waters, before satellite maps and reality TV, someone actually thought it was a good idea to set up their own kingdom. Not a colony, not a penal settlement. A kingdom with a crown, possibly made from turtle shell. Historians still argue whether the plan was ever truly serious. Was it just shipboard gossip gone wild? Or were there genuine plots to raise a rogue state in the South Seas? Evidence is murky, letters have gone missing, and some say British authorities buried the tale on purpose. You'll decide for yourself by the end, or fall asleep trying, which honestly might be the better outcome. You pass a man sleeping by the cannon. He's tied his beard into a knot to keep it out of the soup. There's a chicken perched on the tiller. No one owns it. It just showed up one day and refuses to leave. The ship's cat, meanwhile, has mastered the art of looking deeply unimpressed at literally everything. Your captain, possibly drunk, possibly asleep, possibly both. But rumor has it he once sailed with William Dampier, a name you're about to hear a lot. Not a pirate, not quite a gentleman, a confusing, clever man who'd helped lay the groundwork for all this madness. And the ocean ahead, still hiding something, a strip of land barely charted. But give it a few more decades and Britain will dump an entire prison system here. For now, it's empty. Or so you think. Somewhere out there, someone's already dreaming of being king, not of a country, but of a stretch of beach, a broken fort, a dream built on boredom and salt air. But for now, your hammock waits. It's slightly damp, slightly rope-burned, and smells faintly of onions and feet. As you sway gently, you think, who would be foolish enough to crown themselves on this distant land? You'll find out soon.